Hey, good morning everyone. Welcome back to my channel, Delightful Creations. I'm Amber, and today I'm coming on to do a great project share that I have made for my other cousin, Nikki. I created for her a junk journal book similar to the one that I made for her daughter, Kiana. So I wanted to go through and walk through it with you guys. I did a lot of new stuff with it, and I am super happy with how it turned out. So let's get to it. Here it is. It is massive. It is full on. It is a hardcover. It is fabric covered. Two things that I've never done. And it's got trims and laces and little jemmies. Here's a bead dangle. And just everything is just gushing out of it. It is super chunky, as you can tell. And there's a reason why it's that chunky. And I'll get to that in just a few minutes. But let's dive in here. So I have a ribbon enclosure, which if you don't like that, Nikki, you can just snip these off. There's no reason to have them there unless you want it there. And here's this beautiful green bead dangle that I made. I'm not sure how I'm going to attach it yet. I just have it sitting in the ribbon for right now, but that's that. So here's the very front of it. She requested like tropical, vintage, kind of just a combination, angels, rainbows, bright, colorful. So this is what we have. I added trim to the edge of the pages, some of them, and that gives it a really fun texture as we go through it. So this is the first page, and I made a pocket. I made a sunflower tag, and I put in a piece of a book. It's called 101 Things You Didn't Know About Love, and I coffee dyed it. And I just stuck that page in there for her. I thought that was really cute. And I added a little brad down here in the corner and a sticker over here. And this paper is the one that I made on my program. Here's the next page. There is kind of a beachy vibe to this one and a little banner, like tropical, like a weathered. I made this one as well. I just added the banner to it basically, and this was a background that was free. Here is the first paper clip, which I made. It has a button on there, so I learned how to sew buttons for you, Nikki. You're very welcome. And then I backed it up with some burlap, a couple different fabrics, lace, and then on the back I added a piece of ribbon just to cover up the back of the paper clip so it wasn't so ugly. So I'll go ahead and take this book apart. So I have a B page here. Here's the next page. And there's just a lot of fun stuff. So I have a beehive little girl, I have a bee happy little card, and this beautiful beehive with these tropical flowers and this bird. I had to include that. And you can use these as journaling. You can write on the back. You can just glue it down on the page. Whatever you want to do with them. So that's this one. I'm going to move that page out of the way because it's annoying me. And the next one is kind of floral-y flower. Here's some really pretty lace down here on the bottom. This is an envelope pocket. It has a paper behind it. It says, "May God richly bless you today." And you can color this. And then inside my pocket, I added some really pretty goodies. There's some lace and some ribbon, and then some of my sunflower ribbon, because I know she loves sunflowers as well. And so those are just tucked in this little pocket. Here is my first ever belly band, and I added it because I wanted it to be a little bit different, try out something new. And I added two little recipes. The first one is a fresh herb and garlic dip, which sounds delicious, so give it a try, Nikki. And on the back it just has like a little thing about peppers. And then this one is pink party lemonade, which sounds really delicious too, with cherries and frozen lemonade and some soda and ice cubes. And so I thought that would be a really cute little addition to her book. Like, you can keep them in there or you can take them out. So that's that page, which leads us into the flamingos and pretty pinks. So this is a double pocket page. There are two tags sitting in here. They're identical. One is just smaller than the other. And then this, on the smaller one, I added a couple of heart jemmies. And then I had so much fun just playing around with all these fun patterns of papers. And some of these I bought, like this was a bought pattern at the store at Joann's. Ooh, that's a little snug because it's a really fat book. and then a couple other flamingo inserts. So I really hope that you like this. I hope it's your style, and just have fun playing around with it once you receive it. On this page I did a couple of stamping of some pretty hibiscus flowers on some pink pattern paper. I try to give you some writing space so that if you wanted to journal you could. Otherwise you can just slap down some photos, whatever you want to do with this. Again, a journaling spot. You can cover it up if you don't want to do that. Here's another double pocket. I give you a couple of doilies, a big one and a small one. And you can fold those over on a page. You can just glue it down. You can leave them in there, whatever you want to do. A couple of little sunflower die cuts. Dream on my pocket. I added some fake lace to the top and sides, and then I added the real trim on the side. I think it turned out really cute. And then in the center of this one, this is a double signature book, which is why it took me so long to make. I think this book took me about a month to make, to complete. This is the center with some pineapples, and I added a couple of like starfish to make it a little more tropical feel. The next page, oops, is this one, and it has a really pretty sunflower and a fairy, kind of an angel fairy, and I thought it was a really pretty image. And they're like repairing her dress and helping her feel beautiful is what I thought, and I just love the image, so I threw it in the book. And then we get the flamingo page. So this was one that I designed. This one obviously I did stamping and I dyed it. But this one I designed just for you. I added the flowers and the leaves and the flamingos, and then I stamped high all over it. And then I added a couple of little stickers. And then over here is another paper clip that I made for you with fun little trims on the side, very tropical feel. But this, I'm really proud of this little thing. It took me a long time to figure out how to do this. I made this little enclosure, and then it opens up, and it's just a big long writing space. Look how neat that is. I mean, you can add photos to it. You can add tickets from movies or anything else that you feel like keeping in there. And so you just wrap it back up. Oops. Put it back on there. So yeah, I don't want this video to be too long, so I'll put everything back in there later. Here's the next page. I did a collage on this side right here. I added a beautiful little pocket, a couple of small ledger papers, and then 2 little quotes. Today is full of possibilities and live in the moment. And I had a lot of fun making this collage. It was just like the other one. I always think collages are going to take me so long, and they don't. They really go by fast. This is a beautiful paper that I got as a free digital, and I turned it into an envelope. So it flips out, and inside here is another freebie that I got. And I actually posted this on Instagram. She doesn't know it's for her. So that's kind of a fun little thing. And it is just a sweet little, it's called like a flip-flap book. There's some trim on here. You just pull this down. I mean, you can untie it if you want. And then it says, be humble, happiness, believe in yourself, and be loving. And it opens, and be gentle. So you can write on here. And then it opens again, never give up, with happiness, because she loves sunflowers again. And then it opens up one more time, and it says be humble. And then on the very, very back, you can write again, and it says be patient. And so it's just a really sweet little book that I wanted to make for her. Just a little special something, something. And I added some jimmies on the bottom of this envelope, and I think that just tied it off. I think that's the beautiful part of this page. Just like brings it together. So on the back of that envelope, it was such a pretty paper that I didn't want to cover it up on the other side. Usually when I glue my envelope flaps down, I will cover this up. But I didn't. I thought it kind of tied in. It has a lot of pretty flowers and the same type of pastels. So you can do whatever you want to. Here's some more sunflowers with some weathered beach boards. And that beautiful trim on the side. And then we have our angel playing a violin. Some sewing with the fake doily in the background with some writing. And this page, if I were going to do something with it, I would honestly just put a photo here and here. Keep it really simple. But up to you. Here is a triangle pocket. It does flip up right here for you to write in there if you want, or, you know, you can glue it down if you don't want it. And then I added some stenciling to the back of the page, which was a lot of fun. I made 2 vintage postcards. So this was out of a book. It was like a lawn and garden book on pools, and I just thought it was so cute looking. I turned it into a little postcard, and I stamped on their place postage here. And then I made a larger one, and this one is of a gardening lake, actually a bridge, I'm sorry. And it has like this beautiful like a light here. I just thought it was so pretty. And on the back of that one, same thing. I turned it into a little postcard. So you can't actually mail these if you want to. You can throw them in the mail as long as you put real postage on there, obviously, and then write to and from. Or, yeah, write to and from on there. But I thought it was fun to add. Here's the back of that pretty paper, which is circling around the edges, so you can write in here, and you can stick a journaling here, you know, stick a photo there, whatever you want, draw. And then we go back kind of to that tropical feel on both sides. We had to bring them together, so I stamped a little, what are these things called? Not toucan. Oh, I can't remember the name of these birds. Like a parakeet, I think, maybe? And I added the word ocean with some bubbles. And I wanted to leave enough space on here for you to do something with, so I didn't want to cover the entire thing. And then we pop right back into her favorite, sunflowers. Oh my goodness, this was so much fun. This right here is probably one of my favorite pockets. I just love how it turned out. There's a paper in the background that I stamped on. I added a fake stamp. I added my ribbon. I added a half a circle, a couple of butterflies, and memories. Inside this pocket, I added some cross stickers for her and a beautiful sunflower tag. It kind of ties in with her daughter's. It says happiness comes in waves, which is in her daughter's book. So there are a few things that are similar, like this page is in her daughter's book, because she loved it so much, and I wanted to give her a little bit of that in her own book. So there you go. And here is another paper background that I made on my program. I added the background fake fabric, and then I splattered on there with some pretty paper, and then I added this little clock down in the corner. Here is a side tuck is what I would call that. Always grateful. And then here is a mini envelope. It's made out of gold vellum with smile on there, and it does open up, and there is a little paper in here that you can go ahead and write on. I thought that was such a neat idea to make it a usable envelope. So I did. And then it just tucks right back in there. Obviously, it's not going to do it for me on camera, but it does go in. There we go. And then inside the little tuck here is a coloring page of a tree frog and another one of these little cards. It says, with God, all things are possible, Mark 10:27. And it's a sea turtle. And I know that her daughter loves sea turtles, so I've got a feeling she's probably going to give it to Kiana. So, there you go, ladies. Hope you have fun. I love coloring. I just think it's so much fun. It's relaxing. I hope you guys do too. If not, you know, I'm sure your littles will like coloring. And this page here is a bunch of vintage ads, and it has like ladies, like corsets and like hats, and I just thought it was so funny. I wanted to add it to it. I made this little pocket here. It's so cute. I love it, love it, love it. It says appreciate on top of some other lace with a little ribbon, a circle, and I stamped a birdie on there. And it looks really old, and I love the gingham paper. It feels like, you know, like strawberry summer to me. And it's clipped on there with another one of these little paper clips that I made. I sewed those on there. I think I ended up spending 2 or 3 days making these paper clips. And so, yeah, it was a lot of fun. And then I added a cute little bow on the back of that one. And inside here is a couple of really pretty images of birds, you know, like birds on the front. Hello! So you got some hummingbirds, and then a terrace with some birds and some pretty, pretty flowers, and then a sweet little angel fairy lady with a couple of birds looking at herself. And, you know, you can use whatever you want to with these. You can actually glue this down on the page and then, you know, pull it out. You don't have to leave it loose if you don't want to. It's just something extra that I wanted to include because I felt like this page needed something, but I didn't want to make it permanent because I still want you to be able to customize it to your needs and your wants of what you like. And then on the back here is another digital paper that I made. And it's really bold and vibrant. I don't know if the camera's picking up how bold it is, but it's pretty bold. I added some vellum. I really wanted to include some vellum in this book with a little strip of washi. So this is really flimsy, Nikki. If you want this to stay here permanently so it dulls down this page, because this page is like bam in your face bright, you're going to have to glue this down because it's barely on there, but I wanted to add it just for some fun, you know, like a different feeling, a different texture. It feels different. But yeah, you're going to need to glue that down if you want this to permanently stay here. If not, you know, you can use your stickers that I included in here and tape it on here, or, you know, you can just take it out and not use it at all. It's up to you. And this here is probably one of my favorite pages in this book. I added a doily, I added some jemmies all the way down. I added this little library card on the front. It was a book, love, and a little circle jemmy. This is actually a mini library card. Look how sweet that is. Oh my gosh. And this, again, a free digital, guys. I'm telling you, you just got to go look for your stuff. This is a stamp that I bought. It's a little book girl, and I love books. And I thought she was so cute, and I colored it personally for you, Nikki. So I hope you enjoy her. I don't really care for the warped edges, but I feel like that works because a lot of library books, you know, are older and they're like grungy, and you know, I just thought they were so cute. So I like her tucking out of there. I think it's really sweet. I made it a tuck spot. This is a huge, you know, journaling card. You can fold it in half if you wanted to. Cut it in half, whatever you want. And you can tuck something in here. And then on this side is an angel with a postcard, so you can write on here. I just love this paper. It is out of my paper pack that I bought. It's like, I think it's called Pretty Patterns. It's from Joann's. It's gold foiled. It's so pretty. In the center of here, we've got some wood with beautiful sunflowers that I added as a border. And then the back of that page says love, and there's a little birdie up here with some more of that gold foil. On the side, I had to paper clip this, and you'll see why in a second, because on the other side, I added a flippy flap. So here, first of all, we have this cute little pocket that I made, and then I stamped on there. I'm so proud of my stamping. My skills are improving. A sweet little flamingo tag that she can do whatever she wants to with, and then mini little, like, embellishments. So this one here is the same pattern as that previous page. It says dream, and then a music paper one that says happiness, and then one with flamingos that says relax. And I thought they were just really sweet. You know, like I said, you can just glue them down on the page, use them as bookmarks, whatever you'd like to do. And then on here it says, be a flamingo in a flock of pigeons. And I love this image. And so I wanted to include it for you. And that goes on this gold foil page here. And then this, it keeps sliding out, little stinker, is another little trimmy thing that I made. Beautiful, vibrant, tropical feel. And when you turn the page, the reason why the paper clip is there is because it has a huge flippy flap here. And it's much bigger than the one that I made for Kiana that flips out. So there's a lot of space here for journaling or putting photos. I love the little butterfly. And then it flips open the other way, way out here. And I added a pocket. I don't know if you guys can see that. I added a pocket to this back side, and I just stuck in another little journaling card in there. But you can take that out and you can just put whatever you want to in there. So that's that one. And I gotta put the paper clip back because otherwise it'll keep flipping in and out, and I don't want it to get wrecked before she gets it. So there's that. Here's another little journaling spot that says thankful. I added a little bit more of that ripped washi. I think that just finishes off the page. And then next we have, oh, this one was so much fun. I think this is actually one of the first pages in the book that I did when I worked on it, once I had it put together. It's a double, excuse me, it's a double pocket holder. And I added some parrots, some tropical birds to it. And this one says brave, and this one has a flower. And they do flip up, so you can write on each of these. Just a small little writing space. Well, that one flips down. And you can tuck whatever you want to in here. It's really cool. And I purposely put that in there because this will actually fit perfectly like that, a 4x6 photo. And you can still see these sweet little hummingbirds on the edges. And so I was so proud of myself for like designing that page. It was a lot of fun. Here's some more writing space. I ripped this out of one of my journal pages, again with these pretty fun colors. And then on the back of this one, we go back to that vintage vibe. And this is one of my banner pockets that I made, and I inked all the edges for you. And it has a couple of little tuck jeepers. Wow. Okay. I'll pick that up in a second. And it has an angel card here. And then this really neat old vintage kind of medieval vibe with sunflowers. And then I did some stamping on the background with some lace. I just stamped right over the top of my lace to get that effect. It was really neat. And this one was a digital ledger paper. And then I just added this little angel and a couple of little hearts with a Paris stamp in the corner. Here is the final page. It's flamingos with many blessings on this pocket here. There are 10 stickers inside here that are gold foiled that are tropical. You can use those however you see fit. And then 2 little, well actually not little, quite big, journaling cards. I added Hawaii and Jamaica because again she wanted that tropical vacation vibe. And there's a sweet little parrot poking out. Isn't he cute? Oh my goodness. So this book was just so much fun to make. Yeah, I worked really hard on it. I hope you appreciate it. I hope you love it. And so then this back page is just this polka dotted paper with nothing. And then this pretty mustardy, flowery feel. And what got out of the book, I was trying to save it for the last bit because I wanted to give her one more special little thing. And here it is. It's a little file folder mini notebook because I gave her daughter a different version. Actually just a really simple one. And this one says My Happiness, a couple of sunflowers. That way she can tell the front from the back. You know, because if it were laying on the table, you might not know. But now you definitely know this is the front. And it opens up like this, and it says, you always have a choice, with a couple of little jemmies, 2 little pockets. And this one has a sunflower, little journaling card. And so does this one, a little sunflower journaling card. And then this was a freebie collage paper that I glued on there. And on this side, it has 2 other little journaling cards. It's quite a tight fit, but it does come out. So there's a pretty little red one. And I did all the inking and gluing all myself, so that's why it took so long. I just wanted to give you my best, you know what I mean? And then I added a couple jimmies up here. This is, again, that same paper. So both of these open up, and again, that same paper, I just cut and glued it. I just loved it so much. And then on this side, I added more of that butterfly paper. Here's a big back pocket, and it has 3 other little, like, stationery papers. This one says My List. And then in pink lilies, and then again with some butterflies and florals. So those tuck right in here. And I added this background paper, so the pocket isn't just boring. And then this is like a little mini journal, a little mini notebook or drawing. And these are coffee dye papers that I made myself. And in the center of this, I added a cute little sunflower right here on the page. I just glued that down for you. And just to give it a little something, something, you know. And then it flips back through. I added a couple colors to the pages. On this back pocket here, I did a little collage with a flower. And tucked in here, there is an envelope that I Mod Podged a napkin onto. Just a regular envelope. I did copy dye it first, so it kind of feels pretty grungy, but it's really pretty. If you wanted to add it to this booklet, you would just glue it like you saw in the main book, and then you would have a flippy flap. So it's really easy to add this to your journal. You can leave it just like this. Here's a page out of a book that I had. It says Mother's Prayer Notes, and it's double-sided. And then I made this little pocket from a book that I had. And it says art at the top, and then, you know, astronomy and a Hubble puzzle. And then on the back is a picture of a girl running down the street. But you could just take this and plop it right on this page here and glue it, and then you have an instant pocket. Otherwise, you know, if it's not your style and you don't like it, don't worry about it. It won't hurt my feelings, okay? So thank you guys so much for stopping along and looking at my cousin's amazing tropical feel vibe junk journal. I had a lot of fun. I hope you love it. And we'll talk to you real soon, everyone. Thanks. Bye for now.